Is it just me, or has there been a lot more rain than usual? Like, even specifically in my area, it just seems like it just rains pretty much every day, or it's cloudy on most days. I can't be the only one that has noticed this. It seems like there is something weird going on anymore when it comes to everything, the weather and everything. Even the temperatures have been kind of strange, in my honest opinion, especially for the time of year that it is. Everything just feels weird. Everything feels different. Everything feels bizarre. And if you know what exactly is going on. I can't really delve in it too much because, make no mistake about it, something weird is definitely happening. Have you noticed this?
Welcome to another edition of the Truth Zone. As always, this is your host, Truth Seeker here, and a lot of bizarre and eerie things are indeed happening, as always, in the year 2025. The first clip was actually from me, and I'm just pointing out how bizarre the weather has been and how it seems as if we've been seeing a lot more rain recently. At least in my area, that's what it seems like. Now, maybe there's nothing to this at all because I know that it's still technically spring as of the time of you watching this video, but maybe, just maybe, there is something more going on with the weather and everything else. I mean, it just seems very bizarre. Everything happening anymore with everything just seems very strange. And I know that I am not the only one that feels like this. And there is just a lot of bizarre things happening with the weather.
And out of nowhere, everything turned green and literally insane outside. We'll come right back to the green storms because things are really weird right now and it all connects. So, solar superstorm triggers unusual meta clouds in the atmosphere. And that literally comes out with the most haze I've ever been seeing in the sky. But wait, there's more. Look at this right here. This was a discovery from Into Thin Air. That home insurance or insurance is not going to cover solar rays, solar radiation, electromagnetic, etc. and solar flares. Meanwhile, they're telling us the sun is looking like this right now. Meanwhile, apparently we just had another solar storm. People were seeing the aurora all over the United States last night. And again, back to the solar superstorm triggering meta clouds. Crazy cloud cover, right? That brings me back to all of the storms that we have been seeing at my house and this dude's video and other places over and over again. Green storms that come out of nowhere. All while weather is going literally in freaking insane every single day. Why are all these really bad storms coming out of nowhere in green? Radiation, ray. And when I tell you the weather is going crazy, this is every day. Not to mention the sun acting weird every single day. Oh, and it does appear as if we do have our first hurricane. But more on that tomorrow. Let me know what y'all think. It's getting crazy out there. Hurricane season is going to be madness.
And it's just very interesting how NOAA has came out and they have predicted a above average 2025 hurricane season. And now we are seeing all of this weird stuff going on with the weather. So you tell me, is all of this stuff connected? Because again, they do have ways to do stuff with the weather. They do have certain instruments and stuff like that. If you know, you know. I've got to be really careful because honestly, it feels as if they are eventually going to come after people like us, people like me, that are questioning what is really going on with the weather. Now, again, I know that we are in the end days, the end times. I get that. And there are going to be a lot of crazy things that happen in the end times. But also, these people do have instruments to do stuff with the weather, regarding the weather and things like that. So again, there is a lot of bizarre things happening. And this next video clip comes from Zay for Jesus on TikTok. And he's talking about how NOAA has predicted this above average hurricane season.
So the NOAA says that we are going to have an above average hurricane season. And they say that you need to stock up on food and toilet paper and all these different things for at least the duration of the year. Yeah, like the whole entire rest of the year. Yes, this is the National Oceanic and Atmospherical Administration. Now that means that they have seen something that they've probably not seen before or in a long time when checking out the radar as it pertains to hurricanes. And honestly, I'm not surprised because guess what, y'all? The Bible says that in the last days that these weather catastrophes will be in diverse places and it will intensify and have more frequency. So it'll be more frequent and more intense. And as the years have been going on and as we have been approaching the time of the end, we have seen hottest summers on record or coldest winters on record or most tornadoes on record or most earthquakes on record and all these different things. This is not me trying to scare you. I'm just relaying news that you probably would not have researched on your own. And so if you live in these, and it doesn't even matter at this point because it seems like bad catastrophes are going to happen in diverse places anyway. But if you happen to live in these areas, like the Louisianas, the Floridas, if you happen to live in those areas where hurricanes, they hit and they hit hard, I would go and do your own research about what the NOAA is saying about this hurricane season, because it's going to be the worst on record. And so I'm just saying, I'm just the messenger, okay? I'm not trying to fear monger. Go do your own research for yourself.
So again, the reason why I find all of this bizarre is because even earlier in the month of May, they released these articles talking about how a anti-government group threatens crucial weather radars. So why would they do that? And then they come out and talk about how there is going to be an above average hurricane season. And it seems like eventually what they are going to do is they are going to lump us, the truthers out there, with this group eventually. And then what they are going to do is if they catch you questioning the weather or what's going on, well, guess what? You are going to get removed from said platform. That's what it feels like to me, but maybe I'm just being too paranoid with all of this. Maybe just maybe, or maybe there is something more going on here, because it seems like it's too much of a coincidence that all of this was put out well ahead of time. And now you have NOAA, the NOAA, talking about the hurricane season. I mean, come on, that seems like more than just a coincidence to me, because usually what these people do is they put stuff out well ahead of time and then they begin to come after said people, said truthers like me. And that really seems as if that's what they are trying to do with these laws they are trying to pass and everything else. It seems as if they are going to try and come after people like me when we speak up about the truth, when we speak up about the weird things going on with the weather. What do you think? And something else, and this has to do with the weather and everything too, and the atmosphere, is people have been noticing that birds have been mysteriously chirping at odd times, like around 2 a.m. and stuff like that. And have any of you noticed this? Because it really seems as if there is a lot of strange things happening with the weather, with animals, with time, and just everything else. There seems to be a lot of strange things going on, and you can just add this to the list. And what could be causing this?
I don't know if I just don't go outside enough, but since when do birds chirp at 2 a.m.?
So again, what could be causing this? Oh yeah, and something else I wanted to point out. This isn't really weather related per se, but remember those purple streetlights that people have noticed and were noticing, especially around a certain time that I'm not going to mention? Well, it seems as if these purple streetlights are still being put up, are still being installed. And I came across this video on TikTok and they are just wondering what is going on. Of course, they put, if you know, because I'm pretty sure they know exactly what's going on. I'm pretty sure each and every one of us know exactly what's going on, but I find it odd how this stuff has gone under the radar when it comes to these purple streetlights, because people were noticing these purple streetlights and now it seems as if it's not being talked about as much. And again, if you know what these purple streetlights are for.
Can anybody tell me what these purple lights are for, y'all? Like, for real, because they put them everywhere now.
And as you've seen from that clip, you can see how these streetlights are still being installed. And again, there is a reason for that, because of what they want to do and everything else. Again, I've got to be careful what I can and can't talk about, unfortunately, when it comes to certain stuff like this. But I know that most, if not all of you, know exactly what is going on with all of that. And something else I wanted to talk about is the Denver airport. There was a weird incident that took place. Of course, it's no surprise because there is a lot of weird things that happen at the Denver airport and everything else. Okay. But this comes from a lady on TikTok named Tessal69. And she, recorded this lady dropping all of these bizarre cryptic messages. And this lady was wanting this, woman on TikTok to record what she was saying. And again, the message or the messages that she was talking about dropping during this bizarre rant or whatever you want to call it is just strange. You tell me what you think.
Thank you. I have to finish this. My kid's life in danger if I didn't say this. I have been kidnapped, me and my kids. Today will be a worse day than 9/11 attack. This is an act of war at United States of America. This piece of shit woman thinks she knows what's happening. We have programmed her to be loyal and stupid enough to follow our rules. Not only to know how to run away if she got caught, but also to explode an airplane like a pro. We have a weapon that you don't have, Americans. And we are getting the USA on the knees. China, Europe, Middle East, Japan are all one hand against USA. And this stupid running woman thinks she can save you by providing information that she is trying to provide and nobody listening to her. You are losing that war since 9/11 already. The last airplane, the helicopter that got fall down, it wasn't an accident. I know who did it. Please, they are taking video. Please go away from the video, please, ma'am. Please, this is for my safety. I am a US citizen and I have rights. Can you please take video of me doing this? It's just a little bit and I am done.
Ma'am, you've been denied boarding?
We need to keep this in.
You've been denied boarding with your airline?
So this situation is very bizarre. And if you notice, it seems as if they are trying to block her from being recorded. If you notice, they keep like standing in front of her and everything else. So again, this is just very bizarre in and of itself, everything that she was talking about. And it was interesting too, how she even brought up a helicopter crash. And one has to wonder if she was referring to the helicopter crash, where the CEO and his family for Siemens was unalived. One of the CEOs, I should say, for Siemens and the family were unalived. Again, who really knows? But that was very bizarre. Maybe she could even be referring to something else entirely when it comes to the helicopter crash. But this was the most recent helicopter crash, if I'm not mistaken. So one has to wonder if this is what she was talking about, because there have been rumors going around that this guy was a whistleblower. Now, I'm not saying that to be the case for sure. I'm not saying that is 100% factual. That's just rumors going around, but I just find it bizarre how she mentioned that, among other things that she mentioned. Again, there is just a lot of weird things going on in the year 2025. And the woman who recorded this lady dropping these cryptic messages actually had a update video to talk about everything.
Hi guys, with my last video blowing up, I wanted to give as much of an update as I can. It was really scary. I ended up getting on a different flight I'm on a study abroad program right now. I ended up getting on a different flight, and I think that they ended up canceling the flight that she was in front of, but I don't know too much. I talked to a guy after she got taken away, and I guess I should start with what happened after that. Basically, she had 2 kids there, both like under the age of 7, who someone working was like taking care of, and that's like the crying that you can hear in the background of that video. They were super nice to the kids, and it was just really weird. I mean, her kids were there, so the kids were with her, but she like finished saying the thing, and then they were like, you need to go, like we have to take you like to a hospital or something, and she was like, no, I can't leave like the airport, like if I leave the airport they'll kill me, like they'll kill my kids. It was really scary, and they ended up like, she had a bag with her and they brought out a stretcher and like basically forced her to go on this stretcher. They weren't like aggressive at all. She just was like she was complying, but she was like screaming no, and she was screaming for her bag, and then she was like screaming for her kids, and they took her away screaming. I don't know where she went or anything other than that. I do know that she had a boarding pass and had a ticket for an entirely different concourse. And I don't really know what happened. They didn't really tell us anything. The flight that I was supposed to be on ended up getting delayed for like 2 hours because I think that they went through everything on the plane and double checked that there wasn't anything going on in that plane. I don't know. I just was by myself and I was scared, and she was like saying at the beginning before I started filming, she was like, please guys, like turn on your phones, please record this. And she kept like, she was like coming at me and she was like, please record it. And so I pulled out my phone and she backed away when I pulled out my phone, and I was like, I have no idea what's gonna happen, but I might as well film. And I'm just hoping that someone on here can help. Like, I don't know. I didn't really know what to do with it. I felt kind of weird posting it on TikTok, but I figured someone on here might be able to help her. But that's all I know right now, I think. If anything else comes to me, I will let you know. But yeah, she did have her kids with her, and I just don't really know what happened. She just got dragged away screaming on a stretcher. Yeah.
So again, all of that is very bizarre. What do you all think about all of these weird things going on with the weather and everything else, and with this lady and this weird cryptic message, this weird cryptic rant? Again, there's just a lot of crazy and weird and eerie things going on. As always, I want to hear from each and every one of you. Please do your part to comment down below. If you are new to the channel and you enjoy the content that I put out, please consider subscribing to the channel. Please consider hitting the like button. Every like will help this video and all of my videos get into the algorithm for more people to see said content. As always, I can't thank you enough for your continued prayers and your continued support. God bless each and every one of you. And this is Truth Seeker signing out.